Hello, investors. It is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we've upgraded this to uptrend, and as you can see in the trend gauge over here, we upgraded market leaders back to the green arrow in grow mode. Great action across the board today, especially with indexes reclaiming some key levels. And as you can see, the S&P reclaimed the 21 with some nice volume and power. The Qs remain above. Still seeing some lagging in mid caps, small caps, equal weight indexes. And then medium term, the again green arrow for the S&P and the QQQ, but relative weakness in small caps, mid caps, equal weight indexes. And then long term, this is our 200-day moving average that has the green arrow as well. So what happened today? Well, super strong upside trend day with great action and leaders. You can see on the final numbers, it's bright green across the board. And I'm sure we may be getting that Santa rally to cap off the year. Here are the final numbers. 21 over 21 list up 2.09%, 19 green, 1 flat, 1 red. Big 8 up 1.99% on the day, RG8 up 1.35% on the day, and then GROTECTION up 1.09% on the day. Let's get into the interasset correlation. And as usual, we'll start with the S&P 500. And I mean, as a bull, can't really ask for much more. Obviously, this was ominous here, big multi-bar break below the 8, 21, and 50-day, but buyers stepped in, and then buyer stepped in up here, reclaimed the 50-day, and then back above the 8 and 21 today, up 1.10% on the day. And dream scenario for the bulls. And we've been talking about is getting back above that 6 handle on the S&P is great to see. And this 660.17 was a big previous level over here. Reclaim that. You can see opened up, broke opening range highs. The low was in the first 5 minutes of the day and just straight up all day. So great to see there with the indexes back behind our back. And now obviously, there is some resistance over here where we broke down from primarily 60.50, which was a big support. And that's the level that we kind of started to waterfall below. But I'm good there. And then you can see reclaiming the 10-week moving average as well. RSP equal weight, still relative weakness, but good to see that holding the 200-day closed up 0.72% on the day. And, like kind of mentioned, if this can, get up, let that 50-day flatten out, and then, up here, build a higher low, and then maybe try to move higher. QQQ relative strength here. You know, Perfect bounce off the 50-day moving average, back above all the key moving averages, back above this 515 level. Good action there. And you can see this 60-minute looks a little bit more constructive. And, this is a tight, kind of like 3-week-ish tight pattern here setting up. And we'll see maybe the indexes want to break out into the end of the year. Mag 7, again, where the strength lies in mega cap stocks, helping the Qs higher. Dow Jones coming back into this cluster of the 821 and 50-day, but would be nice to see this reclaim the 50-day. Mid caps relative weakness again, but trying to rally up 0.75% on the day, but still a lot of supply up here to work with. And just given this big bar break to the downside, maybe needs some more time. And the ideal scenario would be rally up in here, let the moving averages flatten up, and then like build a higher low would be pretty constructive. Russell 2000 held that 2200 level, which coincided with around the 200-day, just slightly below. And again, I think the best case scenario for these would be build up, build a higher low, and then here. Weekly wise, not looks a little bit better, less noise. Over 2300 would be great for the Russell, and maybe small caps could get into favor again. But again, higher rates really hurt this sector, and that's something you need to watch very closely if you're trading it. ARC continues to be a leading sector right now, reclaiming the 8 today, and this is building out a pretty nice flag here after the strong base breakout from here. FFTY, definitely a leader's day as well. This was up 4.16% on the day, and kind of similar thing, undercut this top of this previous weekly base or daily base, which coincided with the 50-day, and then getting that nice move today. And kind of funny is sometimes on these short days, a lot of people say they're useless, but I've actually tend to notice the opposite is that sometimes these short days can have some really nice moves, especially in growth stocks. So something worth noting for the next shortened trading day. VIX continues to bleed lower, down almost 15% on the day with a 14 handle. And, this was up 76% this one day, all the way back down. And just a good reminder is volatility needs a reason to stay bid up. And clearly, this was just a head fake jump scare for the market, and volatility is coming all the way down. And that coincides with the contracting range in the S&P 500 and more favorable conditions to trade, to swing trade, position trade, growth stocks. Dollar still flagging up here. It's not really given up, but thought is that if this starts to come back down, that could really help the market. And I kind of mentioned this down here was kind of like a look below and fail. Now what I'd be watching here is a look above and fail. So if closes back into this range, could take a trip here down to the low end of the range, and that would again should coincide with some strong stock action. Strong dollar, weak gold's going to be weak, just trading below all the moving averages. GDX below the 200 day. Gold miners, no appetite for this area of the market right now. Silver sitting right at the 200-day moving average. Bitcoin, nice rally back above the 21. And maybe I think this, had a strong initial move out of the base. So now maybe just needs some more time to gather momentum for the next leg higher. Still think Bitcoin's acting great, holding the 10-week moving average, and, just some sideways action here would pave the way for another move higher. Total bonds, rates up. These, continue to be weak. TLT, same story here. And then rates continue heading higher. This weekly chart, again, could be a similar thing with the dollar. This was a look below and fail, and now it's coming into this upper resistance area. So maybe look above and fail, and that should be good for, small caps, rate sensitive sectors. And similar look here with the TNX. So that's the interasset correlation. Take a look at the tail of the tape. Definitely some changes today. So notable. Obviously, we upgraded that market state to uptrend. And then obviously we're operating on the bull case again now with the reclaim of the 21, coinciding with some strong action in the leaders. A reminder, markets close tomorrow for Christmas, and then regular trading hours Thursday and Friday. Today's keys, we're watching S&P versus that resistance at the 50-day. We clearly reclaimed that. And then we were also watching 100-day, which we held. And then again, the 21 on the QQQ, which held along with the 50-day. And then leaders, very strong day today. Green arrow there. Day count up one day above the 8, one day above the 21. Action today, yeah, just low is within the first 5 minutes of the day, and just buyers all day. Sectors wise, Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin tech, cybersecurity software, pretty much all spider sectors green on the day. So good to see some more positive breath in the market. Weakness, uranium weak, and then biotech was weak as well, with the rates still hanging up at the highs. Those sectors are going to struggle, and it's weighing down small caps as well. In-house today, we bought NVIDIA and SSO, so our adjusted beta moved up to 1.18, and balance at risk is 6.06%. So bottom line, will Santa deliver a festive rally to cap off the year? Well, it sure looks like it after today, but obviously this market is dynamic, and we'll just have to take it day by day and look and see what Thursday and Friday have in store. All right, let's take a look at 21 over 21 list. Tesla, so powerful. 4-day pullback to the 21 area / it held to the tick, that 415.50 previous high. I can show it here in the 60-minute, and you can see this. Let's see this This 415.41, 415.50 was previous all-time highs. That got supported on the pullback and now reclaiming 450. And, 4 days down into the 21 area and super strong. That's exactly what you expect from a leader. Reddit continues to make progress and continues to set up continuation patterns, continuation flag right here. Avgo, another one, definitely starting to emerge as the new leader in the semiconductors, although Nvidia is getting money back to the last 2-3 days, but this one, earnings gap, day two, higher high, pulled back to the 8U, turning higher. Great action there. ALAB, another leader in the semiconductors, breaking out of this flag. And this one continues to move higher. GEV, another one. I'll flag this because we own this in-house, but I'll just run through the setup real quick. Again, I mentioned in the other video, but 6-week base after a huge move up out of an IPO base. First touch of the 10-week moving average held along with the 50-day, and this was kind of a shake and bake. Looked like it was breaking the range lower, undercut, reclaimed, and this one looks like if it can get out of this base, it wants to continue higher. And then another notable thing is, these alternative energy stock sectors, they're very strong in this rally with GEV leading. And then, they started to show a little weakness, but GEV kind of was just forming a base, and some other ones were just basing as well. And now maybe this sector wants to lead again. And obviously, these names are very important for the AI data center build out with the power needs. CRDO, great action, trying to get back above the high volume close from the earnings gap, letting those moving averages catch up, and this one looks really good. And these obviously estimates moving forward are fantastic. Marvell, another one, undercut and reclaim the gap day lows, coming back up, another one that, showing leadership in the semiconductor space. Bros, awesome action here. Some some of the best earnings gappers are when they come out of these big periods of 2-year neglect, and bros fit this bill. And this one looks like it wants higher, breaking out of this flag and closing high day up 4% on the day. We've got Palantir started off super hot today, Pulp and Intra. Came out of the open really strong, kind of came back in, but still finished the day up 2.08% on the day. And this is arguably the strongest stock in the market right now. Relentless buying, and you'll hear all the valuation, fundamental value guys complain about this right here, but see the price doesn't care, and this one continues stair step higher. Twilio, good action on this one. Found support on the 21 day. Google, another one that we own in-house, obviously had that quantum computing news, and that's definitely a theme that definitely gained some momentum, and Google's the most established play in that theme, but breaking out of this nice base. Ollie, another retail name. Some of these retail, and then I'll group in, right, like apparel stocks like Deckers, VSCO, Victoria's Secrets, and kind of that general retail apparel. This is a pretty strong area of the market right now. Ollie came out of this nice base on earnings and continues to stair a step higher. Rock Lab, this one's in the space theme. Obviously, the Trump administration with the just their stance on this sector and theme, very pro for it. And this one's one of the leaders here. It had Ant show up the other week. Was a little bit extended, but now these moving averages are catching up, and that's kind of negating the extensions. And you look at this weekly, obviously this was just a huge stage one base breakout and just massive follow through. EXPE, in the leisure and travel, setting up a nice looking multi-week base. RBRK, this one's super strong today, up 3.84%. Bounced off the 21, held this high volume close from the earnings and the gap below, and this one looks great. This one reminds me of Reddit, A-Lab, just very similar IPO setups that started on an earnings gap out of an IPO base. SoFi, another strong one of the leaders in the fintech space, pulled back to the 21, held, and acting great. Deckers, in this apparel, trending higher, making higher highs. Teva, new addition here, gapped up out of this base on some news. Huge volume to support this move and continues to inch up higher. Bloom Energy, another one in that alternative energy sector. This one looks good, coming against a down trend line. And this one, obviously, monthly chart, huge, huge, huge range break here. And this week's closing in the or this month's closing in the upper end of the range. CLS, another one, just trending higher. Every pullback to the 21 has found support. APP, again, kind of forming this like little tight, narrow box here. So that's the 21 over 21 list. And as you can see, just super strong action across the board. And just a testament that the market's always going to be dynamic and you have to be prepared and ready for anything. After that indexes had that harsh break, it looked a little bit ugly, but some of these leaders like Reddit, ALAB, if you didn't even look at the indexes and looked at some of those held up extremely well. And now we're seeing as the market starts to bounce, those are really the creams rising to the top and those are acting well. And then even some other ones that pulled back further, finding support at the 50-day, 21-day, or names coming out of big bases. So, great action from a lot of the leaders that we watch. And you can look at the 21 over 21 list. And obviously, the market is behind our back now with the indexes reclaiming some key levels. Would just like to see small caps start to turn it back up. And that likely means we need to see rates lower. So that is everything I got for today. That is going to wrap it. As always, I'd like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com, or you can always reach out to Dan or Don at revereasset.com. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, please reach out. We'd be happy to share what we do at Revere, our process, our style, and how we protect our clients' money. And that is everything I got. Wish you guys a happy holidays and Merry Christmas tomorrow. And we always appreciate all the support we get with our insight videos and everyone in the Revere family.